I recognize the Leader of the Third Party.
Thank you very much, Speaker. And here we are at the second day of school. And what did we all learn? Well, what we learned yesterday was that the Minister of Labour failed to declare a conflict of interest that involved a close personal friend. But, if you were good students and you stayed up late past the Jays game and read the Trillium article, you would have read that 63% of $345 million in the latest rounds of the Skill Development Fund went to PC donors who donated, wait for it, $1.3 million. That's right, folks, $1.3 million. So let's have another pop quiz. Can the Premier explain to us what the phrase quid pro quo means?
I recognize the Minister of Labour.
Speaker, the Leader of the Third Party may be interested to know that a member of his own party, MPP Sue, wrote to me about one of the SDFs in his riding. You know what was unique about this is,
the Minister, the member for Kingston and the Islands will come to order.
And now he's writing to me, asking that I support his fund. But Speaker, I respect that member and know that this film project matters in Eastern Ontario. Film sector matters in riding like mine, where we film in Derry. We're going to keep working on focusing on supporting worthwhile projects that drive prosperity, that give workers better jobs.
Supplementary. I recognize the Leader of the Third Party.
Thank you, Speaker. For the Premier's edification, quid pro quo is a Latin phrase meaning something for something. It describes a reciprocal exchange of goods, services, or favours. While it can be a simple fair trade, it often carries a negative connotation, especially in political contexts, where it can refer to an illegal exchange, such as a bribe or unethical use of power. I'll demonstrate. A good example would be an organization posting $120,000.
Order. And I will caution the member on his references, and please, the government side, come to order. You can continue.
So, a good example would be an organization hosting a $120,000 fundraiser for the Minister of Labour, and then that organization getting the largest Skills Development Fund grant. Does that sound familiar? So, Speaker, I guess my question is, when is the Premier going to fire his Minister of Labour?
I recognize the Premier of Ontario.
Madam Speaker, coming from the most politically corrupt government, I'm
going to ask I'm going to ask the Premier to withdraw.
That's absolutely allowed.
Order. I'm going to start naming people, warning and naming people, and you'll be leaving the chamber. You may continue.
Yeah, I did touch a nerve. They got pretty excited when I said that. As your previous government, remember this saying to the member? Remember this saying, let's not worry about manufacturing, let's focus on the service sector. That went really well, didn't it? You saw 600,000 headlights heading south of the border. Just this year, 21,100 full-time jobs in August, 44,000 in September. We had another 8,000 last month. People are still investing. But I just sit back here with my colleague beside me, and I look.
Question?
You got to sit down.
Question? I recognize the Leader of the Third Party.
So, Speaker, I know that organization I was just talking about does good work. I'm surprised they didn't mention it. The point is, and the point that the Premier missed was, they shouldn't have to pay to get what they do already and do very well. That's the point. So out on the street, this kind of activity would be described as a protection racket. That's what it would be. So 63% of $345 million for $1.3 million in donations. But
Question?
hey, folks, there's nothing to see here. Nothing to see.
Question?
What is it going to take for the Premier to say, "You're fired, Minister"?
Minister of Labour.
Thank you, Speaker. It sounds like we hit a nerve with an organization that used to employ their former leader, Speaker, and that organization that cut corporate checks previously to their party. But that's not what this is about. Let me tell you about the Carpenters Regional Council. I encourage you to have the courage of your convictions, to go to Finn, to go to Kevin, who are here today, and say it to their face, because their program has helped. They had a target of 200 participants, women, youth, racialized youth. They exceeded that target, Speaker, by 112%. Number of participants who registered for apprenticeship, Speaker, they almost met 100% registration. But that doesn't matter to a party that oversaw the lowest registration of apprenticeships in the modern history of this province, because they don't care about building, Speaker. We do. That's why these unions are supporting this Premier, because they know that when their workers go to work, they collect a paycheck, working on homes, working on the 413, working on New Ontario Line. Their members benefit when we build a prosperous Ontario. That's what this Premier is going to keep doing. That's what this government's going to stay focused on.
Back to the Leader of the Third Party.
They shouldn't have to pay you to do the thing they do well. That's the point. So, look, we all hear, I don't know if you know, but the Minister of Labour is hosting an event tomorrow night. It's a $1,000 a plate fundraiser at an undisclosed location here in Toronto. We like to call it Round 6 of the Skills Development Fund is now open. Get your status quo ready. Or, sorry, quid pro quo. It is the status quo, too, by the way. So, I just don't understand why the Premier thinks this is all okay. I don't get it. I mean, there are people out there looking for work, looking for food, looking for help for the kid, looking for a family doctor, and you're letting this go on? Who are you protecting? You're protecting the minister. It's not protect Ontario, it's protect the minister. When is the Premier going to fire this minister?
Through the Speaker. I recognize the Premier.
Madam Speaker, if I remember correct, he was part of the $25,000 a plate fundraiser for your premiers. Before $25,000, it was you that stood up there. You were shoveling out $25,000 tickets. We don't sell $25,000 tickets. You know, our majority of our donations come from the $5, the $10. The hard-working blue-collar folks that used to support you, they have no faith in you whatsoever because they don't see any hope at all. We're giving the people hope here in Ontario. We've seen an investment of $46 billion in the EV sector, tens of billions in the tech sector, $6 billion in health sciences, and billions of dollars in manufacturing. We are a super powerhouse anywhere in the world. We're going to continue being an economic powerhouse as we move forward.
Just to make it easy on everyone, just talk to me today, okay? Just talk to me. Talk to me. Thank you.
So my question is SDF the Support David Fund or the Support Doug Fund? I'm not sure. Right? Because after the minister became the minister, his riding association annual take went from $50,000 to almost $500,000. Wow. Almost $500,000. Nothing to see here, folks. Keep driving, keep walking by, nothing to see. There's nothing to see here. So, you know, the Premier talks a lot about running the province like a business. If the Minister of Labour worked for any business in this province, he would have been fired last week. So what's it going to take, Premier? What do you need to do? Are you going to fire the minister or are you going to protect the minister?
Order. 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 I recognize the Minister of Labour.
Speaker, What this is about, Speaker, is about empowering a next generation, Speaker. SDF, the Skills Development Fund, is changing lives, Speaker, and it's about sides, because these unions, these construction workers recognize that when you actually build hospitals, when you don't pander to activist groups that say no, but actually get shovels in the ground, your members go to work. Healthcare workers who recognize that when you build hospitals, you expand capacity. SEIU, a union that used to campaign for them, recognizes that when you fund innovative programming that reduces dependency on agency staff, good things can happen. That's what this fund is doing, rapid training with unions, with nonprofits, with college-university partnerships to land better training for a better job with a bigger paycheck, Speaker. We're going to keep focused on doing just that to support Ontarians of this province. We're not going to pay attention to the distraction from members opposite.
I recognize the Leader of the Third Party.
So, Speaker, it's like the minister is taking all his friends out to lunch, a really expensive lunch. And then when the bill comes, he's just sliding it across the table to Ontarians who are looking for work, trying to put food on the table, trying to get help for their son or daughter at school, trying to find a family doctor. And the Premier's okay with the minister sliding the bill across the table because he's doing it too. So I don't think the Premier is protecting Ontario. I think the minister is protecting
I'm going to ask the member to withdraw.
Withdraw. For what I don't know. So I don't get it, Premier. I don't get it. Anywhere else, he would not be doing what he's doing. Ontarians work hard. It's their money. It's not your personal piggy bank. So are you going to fire the minister, or are you going to keep on protecting him and sliding the bill over to Ontarians?